Shalom. Want to start off source by giving all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kadash, double honors to the Apostle, great Most High, and honors you brothers doing the work of the Most High in truth and in sincerity. Yahweh is the real name of whom the world ignorantly calls God, Jehovah, or Yahweh. His real name is Yahweh. His son's true name is Yahweh Shai. And when we pray Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Birming in, Hamining Dan Sham, meaning names Yahweh, the name of Yahweh Shai. Real quick. This is just further proof one that these so-called Christians ain't the ones, right? This is supposed to be the head of it's the head of the Catholic Church, but when you comment this truth, when the Lord brings you into this truth, one of the things you find out is the Catholic Church is basically the daddy of all of these other little churches, right, including Islam, right? When you look into the history, right, and that's one of the when you look into what was this, man, the Council of Nicaea, right? Let me see if I can get that up. Let me just look for it on the other tab real quick. Council of Nicaea, right? Bring that in. There we go. Right, so first Council of Nicaea, right? It was a council of Christian bishops convened in Bithynian city of Nicaea, now Iznik, Turkey, by the Roman Emperor Constantine in AD 325, right? And then basically when you go into this further, it's, that's where you started getting the amalgamation of paganism, right, into the scriptures. One of the things that this world is about to celebrate, for example, in in the next 7 days, right, is this Christmas, right? But that's got nothing to do with the scriptures, right? In fact, when we read Jeremiah the 10th chapter, right, it actually is telling you not to celebrate that, right? This is Jeremiah 10:1. Hear ye the word which Yahweh speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, right? For they are dismayed at them. For the customs of the people are vain, right? So what's about to say is this is a way of the heathen, and we're not supposed to learn it. Right, we're not supposed to be engrossed in it, but let's be real. The majority of our families that are watching this clip, right, the majority of our families are going to be getting down next Monday, right? Arguing about presents and food, and just stressing themselves out over what is a highly pagan day. Right, so the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workman with the axe. So that's your Christmas tree. Okay, it says they deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers that it move not. Right, so they basically especially when you see people with the with the real Christmas trees, they have it. They've got a whole stand for it, and then they tighten it up so it doesn't fall over. Right, and the silver and gold, that's the tinsel. They are upright as the palm tree, but they speak not. They must needs be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil. Neither also is it in them to do good. Right? Because when you look into the law, LORE, right, behind the whole Christmas tree, it was to do with would you call it? It was to do with what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, if you basically didn't give anything, put any presents under the tree, right, then you would end up being would you call it? You end up basically getting in trouble, right? So LORE, law, is a particular body of knowledge or tradition, something that is learned, right? So just a tradition of men, right? So yeah, and that's it. So especially when you consider also, let's grab this real quick. Right, it says Acts 11:26, and when he had found him, right, he brought him unto Antioch. And it came to pass that a whole year they assembled themselves with the church and taught much people rather, and the disciples were called Christians first in Antioch. Right, so when you use that word Christian, you're really referring to the word Mashiachim, right, the anointed, right, which are in today's day and age, right, are ultimately the starting off from the apostles on down, right, so we're the real Christians, if you will. These guys, right, this is an example once again proven that they ain't the people, right, pushing and rather allowing for this lewdness, Okay, so this is Vatican gives conditional approval to blessings, right? And there's a reason why they've chosen that terminology, right? For people that live alternative lifestyle, right? When there was something that I read earlier on, where was it? So it says, I will just read it. So it says, Pope Francis approved a ruling allowing priests to bless unmarried and same-sex couples in a significant change of position for the Catholic Church, right? But what does the scripture say in terms of change, right? As Malachi 3:6, Yahweh, I change not, therefore you sons of Jacob are not consumed, right? This is one of the laws, written over Leviticus 20, and this hasn't changed, right? This will always be part of the law. There ain't gonna be, this stuff happening in our kingdom. All right, that's gonna be. It ain't gonna happen, all right. But if we were in that power seat right now, right, that would be on site. The punishment for that would be on site, right? If you understand the terminology that I'm using, right. This is Psalms 89:34. My covenant will I not break, nor alter the things that is gone out of my lips. Right? Second Ezra 8:22. Whose service is conversant in wind and fire, whose word is true and sayings constant, whose commandment is strong and ordinance fearful. And last one on this point says, every James 1:7, every good gift and every perfect gift is from above and cometh down from the Father of lights, with whom is no variableness, right, neither shadow of turning. Right, so that particular law, right, in Leviticus, which we'll get in a minute, right, the Lord ain't changing that. Right, that is something that you cannot turn around and say, actually no, this is okay. It's not okay. It ain't allowed. It's illegal. Right. So this is a report from the Vatican's doctrinal office, details of which were published on Monday. Said such blessings would be permitted, albeit with caveats. It says it will be possible to bless them, right, but without any type of ritualization or offering the impression of a marriage, right? Because what is marriage according to the scriptures? Okay, let's jump into that real quick, right? This is Exodus 22:16. If a man entice a maid that is not betrothed, right? So you know how it is. We all we see a woman that we like, right? It was like, oh shit, the spirit jumps on you. You drop that smooth stuff, right? If you dealing with anyone, she's like, nah, I'm single. You're like, okay, cool. You swap the digits, right? And then you go do what you got to do, all right? But in the ancient world, when you did what you did, that was like, yo, that's your woman, right? That's your wife now, right? So then if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed, so like I'm describing, he drops that game on her, right? And then says and lie with her, right? So then it's like, okay, cool. They get to do what they do, right? Says he shall surely endow her to be his wife, right? If her father utterly refused to give her unto him, he shall pay money according to the dowry of virgins. So basically, you would once that the two which it's like once you had sex with that virgin, right, that was not betrothed, right, basically not promised in marriage, right, then that was your wife, because at the end of the day, if the father said no, then it's sort of like, well, who's she going deal with, like, because men will be like, oh, what, she's already been touched, right? It ain't like in this kingdom where you even have individuals. And I've heard people say this to me to my face. Oh yeah, I don't want to. I want someone who's got experience. I want a woman that knows what she's doing. A woman that's been around the block, right? Which is strange, right? This is Isaiah 29:16. Says, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. Right, and to make a statement like that is a turning of upside down of how things are supposed to be. Right, we've all had dealt with a chick, didn't know what the hell she was doing, but yeah, you train her, right? You tell her, well, okay, all right, babe, all right, so you do this, X, Y, and Z, right? But once again, also, it's showing the fact that this society has completely fallen, because there are certain things that a woman is supposed to learn, from the women in her life, right? Mothers, grandmothers, or whatever, right? how to, just the basic tenets of how to treat a man. A lot of these women don't know how to treat a man because their mothers never taught them, right? In fact, let me see if I can find that. Um, uh, yeah, so this is Yes, lucky. Let me it says Titus 2, we'll start from the top, but speak thou things which become sound doctrine, that the aged men be sober, grave, temperate, sound in faith, and charity and patience. The aged women likewise, that they may be in behavior as become holiness, not false accusers, and not given to much wine, teachers of good things. And let's just be real. We look at, hey, scriptures talk about honor your mother and father, right? But let's be real, when you look at certain of these degenerate ass women, right, that we have in today's day, where do they learn it from? Scriptures talk about as is the mother, so is the daughter, right? You look at, let's be real, certain of our grandparents have, children by multiple men, right? And that's just keeping it real. Right, so we have completely lost all of this. So what are the children learning? What are the daughters learning? They ain't learning. They're not being given good examples. So it says the aged women likewise, that they be in behaviors becometh holiness, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things. Right, a lot of these older women, they're the ones that were saying, "Girl, you got to play the field. You've only had one man in your life." Okay, so that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their husbands, that the word of the Most High be not blasphemed. Okay, and once again, that's it, right? Because you have a load of these, women that they don't know what they're doing because they were never taught. But that was supposed to be the job of the older women, right? So this is a whole breakdown of society that we're living through at the moment. Okay, but once again, that's why we yearn for the Lord to come back and to correct it all, right? So continuing on, so it says, despite the limitations, however, the announcement marks a significant step forward by the Vatican, right? And when I was putting this lesson together, one of the things that highlighted, because I hate this word here, forward, right? Because Esau always will say things, or rather he will say, "Oh, this, oh, that's backwards," right? I.e., to say his way is forwards, but this isn't forward. This isn't going forward. This is going backwards, right? Because in fact we have examples, right? Let's grab that in the precepts. So it says, 2 Peter 2:6, it says, and turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemn them with an overthrow, making them an ensample unto those that after should live ungodly. Right, so the Lord has already destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. Yet, what are these people doing? They are basically, would you call it? They're basically taking what happened in Sodom and Gomorrah, and they're repeating it. They're repeating that life, and it's just like, wait, there, like, why would you be so stupid, right? But why? Because at the end of the day, they ain't. In fact, one of the priests that we're gonna get, and I'll get it now, and I'll just close up. Right, it says Psalm 50:16. But unto the wicked the Most High saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? Right, because you're having all of these, Edomites, rulers of this man's kingdom, right, trying to make it seem like they're about the Most High, that they're about the scriptures, but they're not about the scriptures, right? Quite the contrary. Right, they're about wickedness, right, and proliferating wickedness, right? And this is an example of that. The scriptures are clear. Where the law is. I'm wondering whether to read it or not, but you know how these, these senses are. Leviticus 20 and 13, right? We already know what it says, right? Romans, the first chapter. Okay, so that's it. The Lord has already made an example of what happens when people live live a life of sodomy, right? Yet these people, right, in their infinite wisdom, basically want to redo the same thing and try hope for a different result. But that's the definition of insanity. as they say, trying the same thing twice and expecting a different result. Right? So, as always, Lord, what I was edifying. Until the next time we say, Shalom.